live? Are we live, boys and girls? Okay, been having chatting with a lot of folks, been getting blown up. Lots of things going on in crypto. Had a blast earlier with Kong. Be sure to catch that previous video we did today. Hey, when you're feeling it, you're feeling it. I've been in a funk, boys and girls. Okay, trying to get back out of that. All right, lots going on. So let's talk how to succeed in crypto, how to actually make money in crypto. Let's explain what liquidity is. Let's dive into some of these things and how to think through things. So, Big Red, that apparently the creator of Avalanche came out of Cornell University, and maybe there's a tie here with this project. So, for one, okay, so there's some low-hanging fruit type scenarios that pop up when you have somebody that you know well, you trust, okay, such as Moon Daddy, for example, when he started Kulo, okay, and we know George was going to get behind that, and that seemed like a pretty good odds for succeeding there. We know the guy, he's a good dude, we trust him. We know George is going to be talking about it. We know Moon Daddy's got connections. He's got Warren Sapp in there talking about it. Okay. So we heard about that, even though it was the day that actually launched, the day after I got freaking scammed, which was absolutely, utterly devastating. A couple months ago when that came out, it was just high chance of success, and getting in that early, it could always fail. Could go up, could go down. We never know what's going on in crypto, but that's a pretty good bet there. When it's someone putting out a project, you have the right connections. We don't always have those connections, but when we do have the connections of somebody we know and we trust, boom, low hanging fruit. So we get into Kulo, right? It did take some time. Took actually more time than I thought it would for that to really take off. I think Crypto Crow was a big mover on that. And then George, of course, further solidifying it. People started hearing Kulo 50 million times over, then it's finally like, okay, fine. The next meme coin, let's get into Kulo. And we've seen that a zillion X. So what do we do? I had another buddy I was talking to today who's way up on Cock Inu. He made a ton. He was in way early, super crazy early. So he's got this huge moon bag. So for me, for example, with Kulo, it is my biggest bag now in crypto. Okay, so what have I been doing? For one, I still believe in Kulo and the upside. The upside is still massive, right? The upside, but I've already 50x'd. Now, is there another 50x in store potentially, or even, gosh, is there? Yeah, there's even a 100x potential easy still with Kulo and more beyond, actually. Okay, potential, but I've been taking a little bit of profits, not anything crazy, 100, 200 Matic here and there as I see it hit all-time highs. Okay, and then I cash some out. I'm way beyond cashed out my initial investment slowly over time, patiently waited, woke up one day and it was up to 15 million. I didn't even know it had pumped. It had gone from 1 million market cap to 15 million market cap. And I was like, I was all depressed in a funk from getting my ass kicked in the pit in karate combat. Wasn't paying attention. Other things going on in life. Okay, frustrations, things going on. Woe is me. Okay. And so not paying attention, all of a sudden, okay, whoa, $15 million market cap. I've like 20x this bad boy at this point. So I took a little bit off. I'd already taken a little bit off when it hit 5 million market cap. Took a little bit off, needed some cash, put it in. All right. Now it keeps going up. It went to 20 million, then to 25 million when we were on there with Warren Sapp talking about it. Okay. Then it kept going all the way up to 40, 45, maybe even kissed 50. I don't think it kissed 50 million, but close. Okay. So the whole time, what was I doing? Taking little bits of profit, putting it into the liquidity. Now let's explain liquidity. So I still had a massive bag of Kulo sitting there, but more and more, I'm like wanting to pound this liquidity because it's smashing on QuickSwap. And so with liquidity, all right, let's say, so I got to where actually I had taken I had some Polygon also and put it in there and was making liquidity with uh with Kulo and got to where I had about $5,000 worth of Kulo and $5,000 worth of Matic in liquidity. Okay, and liquidity, as long as you do full range, you want to do the full range liquidity, by the way, unless you want to be looking at it every day. The V3 Uniswap liquidity stuff is like dicey on my opinion. So I like the full range liquidity. Okay, and that's what we're normally used to with dexes and liquidity, automated market makers. And so what it does is it keeps the value of the pool, the value of the token. If I have $10,000 in the pool, what that means is I've got $5,000 worth of Kulo and $5,000 worth of Matic. Right, just a little bit ago tonight, Kulo took like a 50 or 45% dump out of nowhere. Okay, and so what that you want to think here's how you want to think of it. You only want to do liquidity if you're good with having both sides of both tokens in the liquidity. So in that scenario, what this liquidity did for me was that I'm still bullish on Kulo. Yes, I'm taking a little bit of profit, but I'm still bullish. I want to hang on to my moon bag, which I also have like $25,000 worth of Kulo just sitting there, plus the 5,000 in liquidity paired with another 5,000 in Matic. Okay, when that Kulo took a big dump like that, essentially it went down, let's just say it went down 50%. Boom. Well, then what happened was the Matic sold off and bought more Kulo. It bought the dip. It buys the dip and then evens out to a 50-50 amount in that pool, in your liquidity pool. So had I just been holding $10,000 worth of Kulo instead of 5,000 in Kulo, 5,000 in Matic, in that scenario, the $10,000 worth of Kulo dumps and now it's worth 5,000. But in that pool, I bought the dip as it dipped and now I've got $7,500 worth in the pool. And then as the Kulo pumps, okay, as it pumps up, it's essentially selling as it goes up and it's buying the dips. That's why I like the liquidity pools. Right. So that's one way to take little profits off. I had already taken some profit out because I'm broke as a joke, you know, baby, your one and only crypto expert right here who can help you lose all your money in crypto, baby, right here. Okay. So broke as a joke, took out already some cash money into my bank, but still bullish on Kulo. My style is I'm not a great trader. If you want to be a great trader, you can sit there and read the charts for hours a day. Discipline. It's a job. It's like a job. It's a discipline. You get on with guys like Crypto Lifer, guys like that, who that's what they do. They're traders. Like we were just on a Spaces tonight with Altcoin Daily and Crypto Face. He's a trader. A lot of these guys are traders. That's what they do. They look at charts all day, right? They're trying to buy and sell them, boom, boom. This looks, they look at percentage possibilities of chances of things pumping or dumping. Okay. And they kind of go with the odds. That's what trading is. Well, if that's not what you're doing, which most of us aren't, you find projects you believe in, you buy and you sit on it and hold. And in crypto, if you do it long enough, okay, time in the market, that's how you'll make your big gains. And I'm not quick to take profits right away. Okay. So here's a sophomore mistake in crypto is that people who endure an insane mind melting bear market like we just have, if you've been in this for several years now, okay, you've probably been developing mental illnesses through the bear market while you live in your mom's basement broke, baby, losing all our money in crypto. Okay. And so you've been holding, and then you see these things pump, and it's like, ooh, you salivate. All right. What happens a lot of times, if you're, this is still kind of your early in crypto, is that you sell out, you miss the real 100x or 1000x type gain. Okay. You might get a 10x gain, you sell out too much instead of selling little bits. Okay. And so these are some of the biggest mistakes I've ever made in crypto, is selling too early. Okay. Obviously, if you've been around for a while, you've bought, and watched it moon, didn't take profits, and then you endured a bear market for years while you develop mental illnesses left, right, and center. Okay. Going to your doctor to get meds, getting on meds. And so you're so eager to take profit. Like, I'm never doing that again. I'm never doing that again. Take your profit. Okay. So what happens is if you take too much profit too quick, you're going to miss. I mean, the monster pumps, all the signs are looking pretty good here. You hold out for a while here, the things are just going to keep on rolling. It's a pretty solid bet these days, right? We've got the ETF pumping in billions now of dollars net inflow into Bitcoin. We've got the election coming. We've got the halvening coming. We've got interest rates going to be going down. These people now who aren't even big Bitcoin bulls necessarily, but they're putting it into their Roth IRA, their 401ks. They're just DCAing, because they take 5% out of their paycheck and it goes into a fund that has Bitcoin. Those type things are happening now. People are just going to keep buying it. They're not looking at the charts every 5 minutes like us crypto junkies living in our mom's basement have been doing. Okay. So they're just, and they look at it once every 6 months, just kind of like we do a 401k or Roth IRA. That's how this works, right? With this type of ETF coming, and they're just going to keep rolling. They're not as concerned, I don't think. That's what it's, and just on top of that, just the bullish fundamentals of crypto. We're in the cycle now. We're in the bull run. It's running. And traditionally, it's 2025 that will even be a bigger bull run. So you have a long-term perspective, a long-term view. You buy the projects you believe in, you hold. When it pumps, and I mean you wake up one day and it's 15x or it's 20x or it's 100x, this type of thing will happen. Okay. You follow these projects like Defi Kingdoms, for example. We were watching their AMAs every week. The team's grinding, the team's developing. They've been going, they're grinding right through the bear market. Okay. We follow these things. We follow the projects. Oh, whoa. They just had another partnership. Not only did Dreamer get in the pit with Karate Combat partnership there, they got a partnership now with Metis, who's just giving them $2 million to develop. You're following these different projects, development, and all these different things going on. You follow the projects you believe in. Okay. You hold your moon bags as these projects pump. Okay. Now, if you're a trader, cool. You're following the charts. You do your analysis, you do your thing, you trade. That's fine. But for most of us, right, we're not looking at the charts for 8 hours, 10 hours a day, like dudes like Crypto Lifer. If you want to go full-time into crypto, do that. Go sign up with Crypto Lifer or Benjamin Cohen or these guys, with their trading courses. And you get in these trading groups, there's all different types of strategies you can do in this market. But, I think for the most part, unless you're wanting to do that and put in that kind of time, you're going to make the most money in crypto by just buying and holding the project, following the projects you believe in. Okay. And then as these pump, you want to look at the risk versus reward. So for example, with Kulo, we kind of had like between a 25 and $50 million target as a small target, still believing it can go up like where Cock Inu just went up to. And now we've got Dog with Hat up to $1 billion. So I kind of have like a 25 to $50 million target where I'm taking out little profits. Okay. Little bits. And then I've got, like a $100 million target where I'll be taking out a little bit of profits. I've got a $200 to $350 million profit where I'll be taking out little profits, and then a $500 million target, $1 billion target, and then even a $10 billion target. So you kind of have this game plan. You look at the risk versus reward. Well, let's say with Kulo, okay, let's say it does get up to where Cock Inu has been here for a while, between 2 and 400 million, market cap. It was kind of in that range. That's kind of what I was thinking when it first came out. Okay. My game plan, by the time it hits there, I'm going to probably want to be taking out a third, of my bag at that point. And then when it hits $1 billion market cap, I'm going to want to take out another third probably. And then if it hits like 5 billion to 10 billion, I'm going to want to be probably, this is just an example, okay, taking out probably most of it, 80% of it. And then by then, that 20% I still have left will be like still in the six figures or 50 grand, or something in that range. Okay. So, and you can still hang on to that and let it ride. The rest you can take out. One way you can take it out, like what I've been doing, for example, with Kulo, is when I do take my little tiny bits of profit, okay, all now that I've already cashed plenty out, to get me by for a little while, being broke is a joke. I'm putting the profits now, little 100 to 200 Matic, sell offs here and there as I see it moon. Okay. And then I pair it in liquidity and put in liquidity because I'm still bullish. I'm still mega bullish on Kulo. I still think it's going to go hit that $1 billion market cap up there. All right. And maybe beyond. So we saw Doge and Shiba Inu hit 40, 50, 60, 70, 80 billion dollar market caps, which is mind blowing. Okay. So we'll probably see some of that happen. But, let's say this big red, this is another one that came out today. So I'm kind of having a similar vibe with that one that I am with Kulo, because I think it seems like some of the AVAX folks are behind it. Maybe not actually, probably all unofficial, but it feels like this Cornell University is, it's like got that vibe going. Big red, let's go. Okay, so, it's already pumped since, it went from a $20,000 liquidity that it was a fair launch today. It immediately pumped to $3 million market cap. And then now it's up, we were live on stream on air earlier. Now it's been up over 12 million. So that one has even exceeded my expectations for the first day. I think it's on its way. We'll, see you later, going on up to 1 billion eventually. Right. And there'll be retraces, potentially big dumps. People manipulate. People who don't like Kulo, don't want it to succeed, have been dumping it and manipulating the prices and fudding it. You see these weird trolls and people out there, weird things going on. Well, if you just I didn't even think twice about it. I Moon Daddy, believe in him, hung on to it. I'd already taken out some of my initial profit anyways. Okay. So, but still had a majority huge bag of it in case it does pump. So, and this is how you want to look at these, the crypto cycles go in different waves. It goes like in waves. There'll be all of a sudden V chain will come out with some big news. There'll be some big V chain news, and we'll have a little V chain season, a V chain just mooning, and everybody's talking about V chain all the time. And then, it'll putter out. And that's when you want to start. That's when you want to take profits and move. And then Cardano, the Cardano ecosystem will have a big Cardano. It'll pump, go crazy. It'll be the number one gainer, in all of crypto for a month. Okay. And we'll have a Cardano season. We'll have an Ethereum season, all the Ethereum, this, that, and the other season. We'll have a gaming season. All these things will come. So what do? You find the crypto projects you believe in. Like, for example, Defi Kingdoms Jewel. We did have a good pump a little while back. Okay, but we haven't even gotten started on that, boys and girls. You hold your moon bag of DeFi Kingdoms, its day will come. With a lot of these different cryptos, their day will come. It might have been boring. Nothing's been going on. Chainlink, it did have its little, a little pump up. I don't even think it's hardly gotten started. We probably got a 10, 20x, coming with Chainlink. It'll have its day. There'll be more Chainlink news. All right. But it's only like gone from $5 to $20, like a 4x. I think it's got a lot more in it. All right. Things like that. So, so all these things have their day. Ripple will probably have its day, all these different coins, even though I'm not big in that as much. Okay. But it probably will have its day. So I got a tiny little, bag just in case. Ripple got it, so, but for the most part, it's good to, so right now with Kulo, it's like, whoa, I'm looking at this. It's my biggest bag in all of crypto. What's going on there? I didn't quite think that Kulo would be my biggest bag by a decent little amount in all of crypto. I mean, it's probably surpassed my jewel bags at this point. Okay. So it's like, all right. So I'm taking out little profits, putting in liquidity. That liquidity on top of that is smashing. There's a fee that comes. They charge a 3% tax. Part of that tax goes right into the liquidity holders' bags. So like when there's high volume, I'm making like with that $10,000 worth of liquidity, man, I'm making a few $100s some of these days in fees and Kulo and Matic. And because I'm still bullish on Kulo, I just boom, compound that right back into the pool. I want to keep growing that pool. I want a lot of my Kulo that I have now. I want that in that pool, but I'm not ready yet because I still got a way bigger bag of Kulo sitting there. I don't want to just dump all that Kulo into Matic and put it all into the pool. I want to do that in stages. Okay. And it's kind of like a profit taking strategy. And then eventually, as Kulo keeps mooning, which it probably will, we're going to be out there in Cancun, partnered with Karate Combat, with Warren Sapp, making Kulo videos, baby. All the big dogs talking about Kulo all the time. It's like becoming a mainstay meme in crypto. And it's still only what, like 30 to $40 million market cap. All right. Compared to like Kakinyu and some of these other ones, they're already 10x that, 15x that. Dog with hats at $1 billion market cap. Now, will that probably keep going on up to 20 billion? Yeah, probably. But look at the upside here, right? And I know these guys. I know what's going on. I know what's going on with Moon Daddy. Keeps me updated. So you follow the guys you believe in to get the alpha from. And when it's like low hanging type fruit type stuff, you jump in, you get in on that. Okay. And then all these things will have their day. You have your little profit taking strategy. Some of the mistakes I've made in the past, I remember with Binance, I saw everything in the market with Binance coin was dumping back, 2018, 2017, but Binance was pumping it and it went up to $15. And it was like, whoa, I bought it at 79 cents and I sold 90% of it because I was going to rebuy it when it went back down. Everything else was going down. Well, I did. And then they outlawed it here in the States. They outlawed the best exchange in the history of mankind in the States, of course, that's never gone down, by the way, with tons, 10x the volume of trade volume that say Coinbase has, 10x the trading volume that Coinbase goes down, not Binance. There's just Binance has just proven itself for so long. I could go on and on and on about it. Always with the best, lowest fees, the best to work with. All right. Of course, the states kick them out. Well, I didn't ever really rebuy that bag, but then, it pumped all the way up to $600. And I was just still buying that 10% I had left was monstrous still. So I held on to it. That was like almost 1,000x gain back then, in the last bull run for me. So that still was a big bag, that little bit that I still had. And sold. And then you shift it around. So as he's saying, one of the things that I really learned in the last bull run, which was my second bull run, was how these things kind of go in stages. Like I remember Band Protocol, like had its day and it pumped and then it dumped and it took forever for it to have its day again. It's like its cycle never really came back. That's partly due to the development and the team. I don't think quite executed like Chainlink did. So you follow the projects you believe in. Same thing happened with VeChain. It had its day. I remember it went up to like 27 cents and I sold it right at the top, man. Took a lot out. Not a ton though. And so having a little bit of plan up front, I should have taken way more, I remember, out than I did at the time, but I still took a good chunk out of VeChain right at the top. And it never, ever did go back to that high, even though that first high happened in the first round of the bull run last time. Last time we kind of had two bull runs. We had the bull run that it went from, after COVID, from 3,500 all the way up to $64,000. And then it dumped down to 28,000. And it was kind of a grueling summer, I remember. And then that next fall, it pumped back up to 69,000. It actually pumped to like 69.7. I know that because I sold it. I sold some Bitcoin right at 69.7, even though the charts don't show that. Okay. So, and On that second bull run, when Bitcoin went beyond its first all-time high, a lot of the coins, such as Binance, did come back way up. And Ethereum, it did surpass its previous all-time high in that second little bull run within the same bull run. The first run, Ethereum, when Bitcoin hit 64,000, Ethereum hit like 4,400. And then it went back down to like 13 or 1400 and then back up to 4,800. So it did surpass it. Some of the coins did that. Some of them didn't, like Uniswap. Cosmos did. Cosmos hit its all-time high in the second run. But a lot of them did not. A lot of them did not hit that second all-time high. So part of this is learning to ride the wave with a lot of these coins. You want to think risk versus reward with a lot of the coins. Once a meme coin has pumped up, let's say to a $10 billion market cap, let's say dog with hat, like Franz. Franz is big with dog with hat, baby. Yeah. How do you like my neck beard here? I almost shaved it, but I wanted to leave it just for you guys, baby. All right, let's go, Doug Hype. Okay, so let's say you've got dog with hat and you ride it all the way up to a $10 billion market cap. And let's even say you've taken some profits. All right. You've taken a good amount of profit and it's sitting there at 10 billion. But because let's say Kakinu did. And my buddy who I was talking to tonight, he bought Kakinu at like $100,000 market cap or something, or less than $1 million, I think he said. All right. And so that's like, man, he's like 400 or 500 X'd on that bad boy. 400 or 500 X'd. So let's say that goes from $500 million to 10 billion. That's another 20X on top of that. He'll be having multiple six figures just in that coin alone. So you want to think risk versus reward. Let's say it's sitting there at 10 billion. He's already taken out lots of profits, but he still has like 250 grand. He's got $250,000 worth of cock in you sitting there. Okay. And all right, you want to assess. And let's just say then he decides, okay, I'm just going to go ahead and sell. I'm going to get out of this. And then he watches that thing go to a 30 or a $40 billion market cap. Wowzers. He just missed a 3 or 4X. Still, at that point, it's just a 3 or 4X. The upside, the risk versus reward. Now, what's the chances that thing could dump back down to 100 million? Decently, reasonably high, right? So you're better off probably thinking risk reward here at this point. Like, yeah, I've 50X my Kulo, but we're still so early. Everybody's talking about it. Could it dump? Yeah, but I'm still bullish on that bad boy. I mean, the risk versus reward, there's way more upside than there is risk, I think, at this point, even though there's still a good amount of risk for sure. It could go up, it could go down. We don't know. But let's say Kulo gets up to $1 billion or then 10 billion. All right. The upside, and it might 3X again. And this is what I would do in the past. It would even 2X, and then I would beat myself up. Oh, I just missed another 2X. Oh, when there's tons of other coins that will probably cycle through and have their day that haven't had their day yet, that still have 10X upside, 20X upside. There'll be new coins that aren't even out yet, that we haven't seen, that aren't even in existence. Or there's new, I've noticed like OX. OX is an old OXZRX ticker. They used to be an awesome team. They've been pumping. Who knows? Like maybe they've come to life and the team's back thriving. They got big breakthroughs. I was so surprised last time. Several coins surprised me. You start following other projects, other coins come to life, and all of a sudden they start taking over there, or they've been grinding quietly through the bear. Nobody knows about them. Nobody's talking about them. There's a lot of coins out there that we don't know about because the team doesn't know how to communicate. They don't know how to get out there and market and talk about what the hell they're doing, because they're a bunch of big geek nerd guys developing. But maybe some of those big geek nerd guys who suck with messaging, suck with communication, suck with partnerships, they don't have the funding for all that, but they've been putting out some badass product, some breaking edge thing. We're going to have some of that going on. Some real utility coming on, real world utility where people actually just need the coin. That's what we ultimately want to find. So I like to find crypto where, like right now, DeFi Kingdoms, for example, is in a place where there's some gurus of the game playing this game, and they're not as concerned about the price of the tokens. They're not in it. I mean, of course, they're probably, most of the people in DeFi Kingdoms are in it to make money. Okay, but a lot of these guys are so deep. It's esport level games, big brains. They're right here in the chat. Guys like freaking Sticks Intern, right? These esport level big brains guys playing this deep. I mean, they get on here and they talk about one hero's codex for 8 hours. Wowee and Matty Pesk and these guys, 8 hours on one hero's freaking skill codex. And there's tons of heroes in the game. They can, and they're talking all these strategies, all these different things. They had a 12-hour long stream, marathon stream on Saturday. I was supposed to be on it. I was in a funk. Totally didn't get on it. Sorry, guys. My bad. Matty Pesk, Bogside Chat boys. Love you. Franz. Okay. So listen, these guys are playing the game. When you play the game, you go do a hunt, you go do a boar hunt or the chicken hunt, all these things. Okay. They got to pay crystal. They got to get potions to go play the game. They just get the crystal. They just go buy the crystal and play the game. They're not looking at the price, trading, doing all this and that. They're just in there playing the game. And then that crystal, a big chunk of it is burned out of existence. And guess what? The crystal is now deflationary. It's fully circulating and it's burning like none other. Like what? My guess, probably 8, 10 plus million crystal burned out of existence. Okay. And that just continues on. Nobody cares about crystal and DeFi Kingdoms. Nobody's talking about crystal being bullish on the price of crypto. We talk about Jewel because Jewel's king in DeFi Kingdoms. But crystal, perfect example. You got to have it to play the game. You got to buy the crystal and play it. And on top of that, the DeFi Kingdoms ecosystem is big brains. So it's awesome burning mechanisms happening left, right, and center all over throughout the ecosystem with Jewel, with Crystal, with Jade, with all their tokens. Okay. They think the stuff through well. So with Crystal, nobody's talking about the price. Nobody cares. But you got to have it. That's the type of crypto I love finding. Okay. And that's where I think when real world adoption comes and real world utility, that's always been what I wanted to find in crypto. That's why gaming is a low hanging fruit, easy one to look at, because these people come in and they want to play games. That's why that's why guys like Alex Becker and Leo, these guys, they're just like mostly focused on games because they know that's a niche within crypto where you're going to have to use the token. If they do the tokenomics right, if the team's legit and they make a good game and they're not a rug pull and they're not a freaking VC rug pull, like a lot of these are, but they're legit, long-term, sustainable, big brains tokenomics. What they're going to do is develop these games where you got to have the token to play the game. All right. And buy and sell and do this and that within the game. Right. And so people will play the game, not looking at price, not caring about price of token. They're just playing the game. And yeah, it's nice. It's a bonus. Wow, I'm making money. I can sell this now and I can do this while I'm playing the game. All right. So that's why, because it's real world utility for the token. That's what a lot of us are looking for in crypto in other ways. Like, whatever. Chainlink, you got to have the Chainlink. All right. To do this Oracle services. Avalanche, you got to have the AVAX to create a subnet. All these people create new subnets. You got to have the Avalanche token. You got to have the Avalanche token. You create validators to create your subnet. That's how it works. So you got to have the token. It's real world utility. And for the gas, and 100% somehow of the Avalanche is burned. Every single transaction in Avalanche is burned. 100% of it. So that's bullish. You got to have AVAX. And so if Avalanche is going to succeed, the team's doing right things, they're doing good things. Avalanche, bullish, all right, on Avalanche. That's another example. Ethereum being the first. Look at all the Ethereum being burned out of existence, okay? Because you got to have Ethereum, and it's the number one DeFi chain, all right? So, and just fundamentally speaking, first on so many different levels, how can you not be bullish on Ethereum long term? All right. So, and there's going to be things like AI where you got to have the AI token to use their AI service, or, that's what we're all going for, or computing power. That's why Akash, got to have the Akash and generate somehow computing power, right? For these AI services that need tons of computing storage power, right? There's all these different narratives, and it goes, here's right now, crypto is largely in a speculative run. It has been this whole time, but eventually, as more and more real world utility comes for these different cryptos in all kinds of different ways and all kinds of different things, where you just got to have the token, okay, and it's got good tokenomics and it's got a good team behind it, and they develop all these different things going on. That's ultimately what we want. All right, and that's why even a lot of these meme coins are even creating more and more like utility, even for their meme coins, and different things are trying to little things besides it just being a community coin. But up to this point, most of us are just in crypto for the gains. We're just in crypto for the pump and dumps. We want to be on the pump side of it. Most of us miss it. Okay. But ultimately, where a lot of this is going is it hits home, and its foundations go deep, and it has real life, real world utility, blockchains, real world assets, RWAs, right? And real things and real reason to have the tokens and real utility, where it's not all about just making money. Like, it's about fulfilling something, a need. Like when you go buy a car, you don't buy the car to make money. You buy the car to drive, to transportate yourself. Okay. And that's the purpose of the car. What makes crypto so awesome, like in crypto gaming, is that we'll need the crypto for different things in our lives. Okay. And it'll be bullish where we can make money on it. On top of that, when that hits on both, it hits home on both things. Like with Solana, for example, I'm surprised that George keeps saying he thinks Solana will pass Ethereum. Okay. When we look at Solana, why do you need the Solana token? What's the utility of the Solana token? I get it. It's not about the utility. It's not about the tech. We're all just in it to make money. I get it. So there's big money. I mean, big money right now in Solana. Why do we need the token? We just talked about why we need Avalanche. If you want all these subnets, which we know a lot of these gaming, they want to have the subnet blockchains. And Avalanche is great. It's great tech. It's easy to work with. Anybody who develops on Avalanche will say it's the easiest. It's very easy to work with. It's a great team on so many different levels. And you got to have the Avalanche to create the validators to have the blockchain. You got to have the AVAX, and 100% of the fees are burned on top of that. Why do we need Solana? Somebody's going to say gas fees. Guess how many Solana each day are used in gas fees? Take a guess. It's 200-ish, give or take, Solana per day in gas. 200 Solana per day on average used for gas fees. And none of that is burned. So why else do we need Solana? These are things we want to think about here. Okay. So, like in crypto, nothing makes sense. Memes will moon. Solana might moon. It might 20x, and surpass Ethereum. I doubt it. I'll say that. So we want to find, that's one that I still have had a little bag of Solana though. So I'm riding that wave. Okay. So we want to think that's where, okay, yeah, meme coins are one thing. We know it's a meme crazed season. That's where Big Red again today was kind of a low hanging fruit. I usually won't put stuff out I will not put stuff like that out there unless I was doing it for my mom. So anytime somebody sees me talking about a project like a Big Red that's launching tomorrow. I'll never talk about a project like that. No one will ever be able to pay me money to talk about a project like that unless I believe in it enough to tell you and put my reputation on the line, which still doesn't mean it'll moon or anything. But okay, but I see something like that. I believe in Moon Daddy and trust Moon Daddy. He's not behind the project though. But then I look at other things going on. He's just helping, advice for the project. And he's giving me a solid kind of saying, hey, this thing's probably going to run. George is talking about it. Okay, that right there, boom. It's starting at a $20,000 market cap. It's a fair launch. Everything about it's legit. You just look into it for a little bit. Okay, yeah, this is a pretty high chance of winning, you know, especially if you're getting in right out the gate at launch. So when I'm sending stuff out like that, you want to find people that you trust and believe in. It's hard these days, though. There's a lot of influencers and people out there that only talk about things unless they're paid. And that, and I understand. I don't even judge them. It's kind of a gray area for me. But what happens when you start picking up on that? Okay, think about this for a second. What happens to their reputation? Because what's going to happen is, he's getting paid to shill a project. Okay. And so you're not going to probably ape into that. Maybe you'll look at it, pay attention. Okay. Right. But it's not anything it's going to be like, yeah, everybody's going to want to jump into that unless that influencer has a track record of hitting winners consistently and nailing it. Now, of course, we'll miss things like who knows? Big Red could have been a big bust today. Could have happened. I've had other projects that I believed in wholeheartedly. I don't want to talk about it right now, but there's been other projects over this last year or two that I really believed in. I mean, I was all in believing. And I kind of found out, not so sure about these folks over time. So we all make mistakes. That can happen to anybody, but it's like part of the depressing thing about the space a lot of times is it's hard to trust anybody. You can't really trust anybody ever. Like the wool gets pulled over eyes. It can be just a dirty ecosystem. People are short-sighted. They look at the 5 minutes in front of their face instead of long-term vision. Okay. And their reputation being more valuable and more important than anything else. It's sad, honestly, baby. Okay. Doug Hype in the house. So Doug Hype, by the way, I meant to say this earlier. It was right on the tip of my tongue, Kong. Kong was in here. Okay. Doug Hype, I got to say, Doug Hype, man, if you haven't gotten into his spaces, he does his weekly spaces every Wednesday at 12:30 p.m., I believe is when it starts. Central Grady time, baby. Yeah, so that's Sticks Intern favorite show in the world. Doug continues to prove himself to me as such a good-hearted, legit dude. And I've gotten so disillusioned throughout this last couple of years in the space where sometimes I don't know what to think about people. And almost just with about every single person in my whole life. And Doug just track record, man, of being a good dude with a good heart who actually follows that golden rule, looking out for the best interests of others. And he's so gifted, man. He's so gifted and he keeps improving his craft. He keeps calibrating himself and improving and getting better and better at his craft to where, holy smokes, it's just sweet. That Spaces is like one of not only just fun and entertaining and easy to kick back and listen to, but it's dropping alpha. He's just calibrating himself so well. That Spaces, I think, Doug, we're just starting to see the beginning of Doug's ascending to great heights, Doug. So shout out to Doug Hype, baby. Cock in you, Kulo, baby. And then Big Red, guys. Big Red, I think, is still just starting. Did Big Red just pump? What's going on there? Okay. I still plan on doing a DeFi Kingdoms video. So DeFi Kingdoms, boys and girls, will have its day. Just like a lot of different other gaming projects, you know, Alluvium and some of these other projects are just going to have their day. You know, they've taken a lot of beating, a lot of FUD. Alluvium, where the hell's the game? Star Atlas, like somebody asked George today. There was one that I was really into, Cryo Wars, which was like a frickin' VC rug pull, like a lot of these. Even those type of coins, after they've just been beaten to utter oblivion, if the team did stick with it and continue to build, now they might just give up on the game. Where are the games? So a lot of these are just, they hype up a game, they put out a good video. Like we're talking now 3-4 years ago on some of these, they still don't have their game out. And they just literally pumped their coin for their original investors to dump on the community. It's like crazy. But some of these might stick, right? And they'll have their day. One of these days, one of these games are just they're gonna hit, and people like my boys who don't care about making money at all, they play games and they could be doing crypto games, making money and stuff, and like, but they don't care about making money. They play the games that they're all into and their friends are playing, and they want to be pro gamers and da 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 da. All right. And so like they just do not care about making money. Well, one of these days, one of these crypto games are going to hit, and even my boys are going to want to play. I keep seeing them, maybe a lot of maybes out there. It's actually just going to launch. Like for example, Phaeton Arena actually launched a badass esport level game, and then just use the community to literally squeeze every penny they could out of them with horrible, like love towards their community, just disaster. And so it didn't last. It's like, golly, if a company like DeFi Kingdoms, they get this, they have a long-term vision. They're not just trying to market to the freaking community every other day with some new thing to buy in the game. And then horrible customer service, no follow through, no utility, no follow through on their token, and like monster amounts of 80% of VC dumps on the community. Like a lot of these tokens out there have the team holding 50% of the token and stuff like that. All right. I can tell you a Jewel, the team holds some Jewel just because the team wants to hold some Jewel. The team holds their money though in USDC. They pay their people in USDC. Jewel is just a free decentralized token that's fully circulating with heavy utility in the game for people who want to play the game of DeFi Kingdoms. If you want to play the game of DeFi Kingdoms, which there's a small group of hardcore guru gamers doing these boar hunts all day, every day, okay, that have to have the token. And as more people start waking up, all right, to how the bomb team, the bomb community, dreamers all over the place, he's partnered up with Kulo now. He's like advising for them. Dreamer's the one that set up Kulo and Karate Combat having the spring break Kulo Karate Combat getaway. That was all Dreamer making that happen. All right. So dreamers all over the place, making connections, making partnerships. Everybody keeps hearing about DeFi Kingdoms. As we said earlier, people get sick of hearing about crypto, like new projects. They get sick of being shilled stuff. All right. And believe me, I can't stand it. It goes in one ear and out my other ear on 99% of the crypto that I hear. But when I keep hearing the same damn thing over and over again, and then I start hearing about it from legit awesome people, and then more other circles start, it's like, oh, okay, this one's going to stick. That's when you start looking into it. That's when you start getting it. That's how a lot of us even got into DeFi Kingdoms. We heard about it here. We heard about it with Crypto Banter. And we hear about it with George. Everybody's talking about it all the time. Okay, finally, we get into DeFi Kingdoms. Whoa. Then we see how awesome the ecosystem is, how awesome and expansive and how deep the NFTs. They're the most complex NFTs in all of crypto. Code base, code wise. Whoa. And the summoning, you start getting into it. And then people just get hooked. All right. That's going to start happening more and more. And on top of that, we've got phenomenal tokenomics, fully circulating, deflationary, heavy use case, heavy utility, all kinds of reasons just to buy it and hold it for like gain because you believe in the game. Okay, which not a whole lot of people are doing right now. You look at the market cap, the upside here, easy peasy, easy 100x. I mean, we just pumped to 80 cents. We had a bunch of people, dying from all the mental illnesses they've developed through the bear market and all the insanity that we've been through in the DeFi Kingdoms ecosystem. I think, there is some sell pressure there, right? And hopefully they didn't sell all the way out. There has been a lot of big people in DeFi Kingdoms and whales that have sold all the way out. When that bad boy pumps up to $10, like that to me is like a floor. When I think of one jewel, I think of it right now being worth $10 per jewel at a floor. That's like a floor. As long as the team keeps going. Does the team keep going? Is there indications? Are there indications out there that DeFi Kingdoms team is going to keep going, keep grinding? Well, they just had this partnership, with Metis, $2 million. Finally, they've been broke this whole time, having to be super tight with their money and, careful and all their spending because they don't have money. So they haven't been able to do near as much as they wanted to. The development side, everybody's taking pay cuts. They're getting paid 20, 30 hours a week, this, that, and the other. They're just not making money. And, they're just barely making it through. And it's always hardships. And then, okay, we had the Clayton freaking Orbit's bridge hack. That didn't help anything. All these different things going on all the time. It's always hard. It's always freaking brutal fire that this team's going through. But hey, they make it through that. There's some indicators here out there that DeFi Kingdoms might be a winner. Huh? Well, okay. Metis, blockchain, $2 million grant to develop the PvP game. They can now pay people. They can hire people. They can breathe a little bit. They can do more stuff. They can do more marketing. Dreamer's already out there. He's in spaces, left, right, and center. He's getting in the pit. He's, making connections with Kulo, Karate Combat, all these different ecosystems now, got their eyes on Jewel, on DeFi Kingdoms. And then there'll be some people that want to get into the game and then realize the insane expansiveness of this ecosystem, phenomenal tokenomics, big brains left, right, and center, phenomenal NFTs, phenomenal utility, games the bomb, games the esport level. They hired our boy Pervy freaking Sage, who's a beast, big brains, hilarious, phenomenal dude. They actually hired him on the team. Wow, home run. They hired our boy KP, Christian Peter, right out there, who's a dev. He can wear all the hats. He's doing content. He's doing videos. He does awesome videos. He's out there. He's like life, making our life a little easier in DeFi Kingdoms. They're doing they're doing everything they can. That might be a winner, you think? Huh? Looking at that? Okay, yeah, I think so. That's not going anywhere. DeFi Kingdoms not going anywhere. That's a real high chance of success, high upside. What's the downside? Yeah, the team could die. Dreamer could die in a plane crash tomorrow. Yeah, we are relying on the team still. They've been through hell. The team's been through a lot, but they did just get a $2 million grant partnership with Metis. We got other blockchains. We're going to be moving. We're going to be having other realms and other little whatever coliseums on other, blockchains. Everyone's got their eyes looking at DeFi Kingdoms, doing hundreds of thousands of transactions every day. We got Dreamer in the pit making partnerships, Kulo making partnerships, Karate Combat, all kinds of ecosystems combining all over the place. Hey, okay, risk versus reward. Is DeFi Kingdoms going to have his days? George, he's still talking about DeFi Kingdoms a little bit. How about Crypto Crow? We going to get a Crypto Crow Vizzy? We going to get a George? I'm George. We're all George. Goofball George head Vizzy, coming one of these days? I think so. More people are going to start talking about it. And then it just goes and it runs. That's how these things work. It'll have its day more and more. And then as time continues to go on, the game's going to be more and more developed out. We got now potions. We got to use the potions for these hunts, which means the items have more utility. That's just going to keep going. Look out. All right. It'll have its day, baby. It will have its day. What else? Baby, I love you guys. Freaking love you. There's actually more that I wanted to share that I forgot on strategy, how to succeed, how to win in crypto, how to actually make money and keep it in crypto, and that's where liquidity can be a good, I love having my pair with Jewel paired with Bitcoin, Jewel paired with Ethereum, Jewel paired with AVAX, and even Jewel, or Bitcoin paired with USDC, because it's like essentially selling as it goes up and buying, it's being bought as it goes down. So like Kulo with Matic, I love having that pair, but I'm doing it very carefully, selling little bits of my Kulo. I still got my biggest moon bag in Kulo. Okay. But eventually I'm going to want to keep, as it pumps, selling off little bits, nothing crazy. Okay. And just keep building that liquidity. But then when it hits a certain point, I'm going to want to start pulling out some of that liquidity, maybe moving it to other places. When I start hitting 6 figures worth of Kulo, right? Right. Okay. All right, baby. The new lightning. Let's go. Doug Hype bought the big red dip. Let's go. Let's go. Sticks, intern, my man. I freaking love you. Yeah, the Doug Hype show. Hyped, baby, is our favorite show in the world. Starbuck in the house. Hey, wait a second. Did the Mythic Squad go live tonight? I might have seen that somewhere. I see that somewhere. Emerson in the house. Emerson wants to come on the show, guys. See, this guy's been putting out some videos, baby. Emerson's putting out videos. Our boy right here. All right, on DeFi Kingdoms. Okay. All right. Let's go. Eric David Tippett, baby, in the house. Eric David Tippett, man, has been crushing some of these meme coins. Let's go. All right. All right. So, yes, I'm still, the hype Vizzy. I got to get some hype Vizzies. Wait, hang on. Let's present, share screen. I want to take a look at the hype Vizzy. Doug, don't fade your own Vizzy. The Doug hype freaking Vizzy. Let's go, baby. Who else bought the Kulo dip? I think Kulo dipped and then pumped right on back up. All right. So DeFi Kingdoms. I want to take a look here. All right. DeFi Kingdoms. I want to take a look at the Doug Hype Vizzy, baby. All right. All right. Pause that. Okay. So if we come here, get that right. I did okay, good. All right. Man, is Jewel at 28 cents? Really? Man, that's insane to me. So I still look at Jewel as being worth $10 per Jewel. Like when I think of one Bitcoin, I immediately my brain says that's worth $1 million, because it's just a matter of time. It's not a matter of if, but when. Unless freaking World War III we get nuked or something. Like pending no nukes, no alien invasions, it's just a matter of time before Bitcoin hits a milli, and then it'll go to 10 million. Just like it's just a matter of time before Jewel hits $10 on a floor. Okay. So we're coming in here to the tavern. I haven't bought me any Doug Hype Vizzies yet, baby. Okay. Where's this at? What's this? Okay. We got the fishing rod. All right. I don't think it's out yet. I didn't think so. Okay. So we don't have the Doug Hype Vizzy yet, but it's coming. We saw it on Twitter. We saw those pictures. Second best dad putting that out there. Let's go. Yeah. A Fisher of Men, and on engagement Fisher of Men. That's Doug Hype, baby. Let's go. Let's go. We're going to do it. An Emerson B reveal. Who is this man? He's going to get on the show. We're going to talk about the potions are now like stones. I don't know what's going on there. I want to get a good feel for items in game. That's why a little while back I put a ton of liquidity in items, and it's like, hey, for like a lot of these items, I think are easy 100x potential on these items, because they've gone down to being like practically worthless. We've already seen it with Moshka runes. We've seen it with tiers in the past, where these things 30, 40, 50, 100x, okay, in the DeFi Kingdoms ecosystem. Well, I think we'll see that with some of these other items. Like maybe we'll see milkweed getting back up there again, some of these other things, as the demand comes. No one's going to be out there speculating, trading, trying to buy these items much anyways. It'll just be out of sheer demand, people playing the game. It'll just happen. And then it'll happen in spite of itself. Like people will try to avoid these, even buying these things, let alone buying and selling and trading. People will just, no one will be doing that. They'll just be doing all they can to avoid having to buy them, but still having to buy them. That's when you know stuff will get bullish in this ecosystem, baby. I love it. I love it. Okay. Sunglasses, Doug Hype, baby. Let's go. Okay. I want to have one hero on the Doug Hype, in the Doug Hype, and then two lady heroes in the pink Defender Vizzies fighting. Yeah, so Doug's in the middle, and he'll have two lady Doug Hypes on each side, baby. That's what we got to have, Emerson. Let's go. All right. So much more I could talk about, but let's end it there. I love you guys. Bed. Am I tired? No. Am I going to go to bed at 5 a.m.? Probably. We've been a mess, boys and girls. My headspace hasn't been the best. I love you guys. All right. Crypto Grady out. We'll talk more about that, by the way. My insane darkness that's inside of my brain. I hit like a low, a real big low. I'll try to explain. Yeah, let's get Emerson, Mythic Squad guys, Christian Peter, Sticks Intern. Let's get the Bogside Chat boys. Let's get whoever, Ogre, Starbuck, baby. And I want to like talk, real talk, in-game economy. It's big brains for DeFi Kingdoms, baby. It's coming. Love you guys. Crypto Grady out. Let's go, baby. Let's go, baby.